Hold on. I gotta back away from the mic real quick, or y'all ears are gonna bleed. Hold on. Jimmy G Buckets. The G stands for gets, baby. Shout out to Stacey King, and I'm looking at my GarageBand audio, and that was probably very loud, but I don't care, baby, as Jimmy Butler sends the dagger into the I'm too excited. Into the Chicago Bulls at the buzzer, baby. I ain't gonna do no edit in this video because I want to get y'all raw and uncut footage of my reaction to the Jimmy game winner, baby. It's been a long time since the Heat had a buzzer beater. I think, what was it? Was it Tyler Hero in Utah? And then they had Bam Adebayo versus Brooklyn before that. It's a good time. It's a good feeling, man. I was starting to get nervous like the rest of y'all, but I'm feeling good right now. Sent a hilarious text to my guy Khalil like 30 seconds before that. And I said, thank God for Caleb and Jaime because they are carrying Jimmy Butler in the fourth quarter tonight. And then what do you know? Jimmy Butler, tied game, like 10 seconds left when they get the rebound. Step back midi, bang. And as soon as he pulled that shot, I said, that's good. You know why? Because y'all know I've been frustrated with Jimmy taking these terrible sidestep fadeaway threes with the game on the line. That's not his shot. What he did tonight, that mid-range dagger, smooth as butter, that's his shot. And as soon as he pulled it, I knew it was going in. He had a very, very similar game winner back when he played for the Chicago Bulls versus the Brooklyn Nets. Just look at the similarity on these two shots. So when I saw him go into that mid-range, I said, game. Got off the couch, started pounding my chest like I had just did something. I wasn't doing nothing but sitting on the couch watching my game. Watching the game. In fact, I was in the middle of making a Kevin Love thumbnail because he was awesome tonight. And I thought that would be the story of the game, but I may have to change it now because there's no doubt about it. Jimmy Butler is the story of the game. So as a quick overall, before we get into a little bit of the players, the Heat got off to a way better start than they did previously, which is kind of easy to do considering they got down like 33-8, and Jimmy was aggressive early on, had like 11 points in the first quarter, so you'd love to see that. But then going into, well, I mean, the game was kind of back and forth. Both teams went on runs, but nothing really got as far as like 10 to 12, 13, because as soon as the Bulls got up about that much in the second quarter, the Heat had a great finish to the quarter, and I think they finished up 9 in the halftime, actually. And then same thing going into the third quarter, Bulls went on a big run, and then the Heat went on like a 20-6 run, led by Caleb Marr and Kevin Love and Jaime Jaquez Jr., and then they were up 11 going into the fourth, which is too close for comfort, even if they were up 25, knowing the Heat, no lead is safe. And sure enough, the Bulls were able to tie it with like 6 minutes to go, back and forth trading baskets the rest of the way, and then tie game. And that's where Jimmy Butler says, I'm him, and didn't even react. He literally is like, all right, can we go home now? He's like, y'all know I don't want to be here any longer than I already have to be. Let's go home. We got another game on who the hell knows when. I probably should have checked before starting this video. Anyways, I am going to check real quick. Hopefully the Heat get a little bit of a rest because that was crazy. They played Minnesota on Monday. So Minnesota's been playing great, actually. That's going to be a tough game. Anyways, I got a couple notes here we can kind of go through starting here. In the first quarter, I should mention that Torrey Craig popped off. I thought he was going to be the random scrub Heat killer of the night. Turned out to actually be a mix of Pat Will and Kobe White, even though those guys aren't scrubs, but you know what I'm trying to say. But Torrey Craig did unfortunately get hurt, didn't play in the second half, and I guess that includes Alex Caruso, who missed the entire game. And for the Heat, you still had no Bam, you still had no Tyler, but you did fortunately get Hayward Highsmith back and Josh Richardson. Thought Josh Richardson would come back a little rusty, but he shot really well when he came in. I think he had like 8 points in the second quarter, let that thing fly, and he stroked that thing just like my guy Kevin Love, who started the game like 5 for 5 from 3. Let me see how many points he finished with. He finished with like 22 points on 8 of 12, 6 of 10 from 3. He was awesome. He was pulling some deep ones. His threes were tough. Last post-game reaction, I said he was hesitating too much. He'd have a guy wide open, he'd pump fake, look for the cut. But today, he was pulling it. And that's the confidence I love to see. Kevin Love was due for a really big game because really the whole season he hasn't shot great. He started off more poor and he's picked it up since, but overall he's just been okay. It's not really that Kevin Love sniper that we're used to, and all of his misses were short of the rim, like 5 feet short, which is very frustrating. So it's nice to see him kind of bounce back in it today. But I've said this about Kevin Love all season. I'm not judging his regular season. I think his main value comes in the postseason. for a guy that has an IQ as high as him, that can rebound as good as him, is very good at defense as far as like being in the lane for charges. That type of stuff is very important, especially against, Giannis if they were to play the Bucks. So I do like Kevin Love. I'm not judging him based off the regular season, but fortunately he was awesome tonight because they needed every single point of it. Haywood Highsmith, he didn't really do much, but he did have a big and one at the end, which it kind of needed. Well, he missed a free throw, so not technically an and one, but it was nice to see him out there. And I do feel like they've been missing his defensive presence. So I do want to note that it is nice to have him. I know I haven't been his biggest supporter in the past, but I'm converted. I'm a publicly converted Highsmith believer now. Let's talk a little bit about Jaime Jaquez Jr., who I need to get this out of the way. He finally had his welcome to the NBA moment. If there's another moment that I'm forgetting, let me know. But I don't think he's ever got like dunked on or crossed. That changed today when Pat Williams came down the lane and said, "Yeah," right on that boy's head. Full definition of a poster. That's full body contact. I think this is his welcome to the NBA moment. Shout out to Jaime for at least jumping though. But don't worry, Jaime got that man back. He had like 3 dunks today, including a very clutch one in the fourth quarter. Played the passing lanes because his defense is great. And then he had the breakaway dunk to, I think, give the Heat the lead late. So he got his play back there. He even low-key kind of dropped DeMar in that one play. He finished with a nice George Gervin finger roll. Did DeRozan trip on the Kevin Love screen? I don't know. I'm going to say that Jaime Jaquez crossed him just because, screw it, I can. I do want to, is there any other players that's worth talking about tonight? Let me just make sure I ain't missing. Yeah, Caleb Martin was great tonight. 17 points. He's another guy. I've been saying this about Duncan Robinson, who didn't do too much tonight. But Caleb Martin has been starting to string together a lot of great games in a row. And the more games like that he has, the more confidence I'll have that we are getting the good Caleb Martin. The Caleb Martin that we saw in the playoffs last year, as opposed to just the average to above average guy we saw in the regular season last year. Because he did have a good regular season, but in the playoffs is where he really showed he's one of the better / best, role players / bench players in the league. And that's the Caleb that we have been seeing the last couple weeks, including the not only the offense, but the defense as well. Kyle Lowry, 10.7 assists. He was fine tonight. We talked about Jaime Jaquez and Kevin Love and Haywood Highsmith. And then Thomas Bryant only got like 6 minutes of run. So not much else to talk about there on that side. For the Chicago Bulls side, I'm going to blame Eric Reed for this one because to start the fourth quarter maybe 100 times, he's like, "Oh, Kobe White, 1 point tonight." They're really locking him down. After last game, he went off. And I said, that's not the guy you want to say that about. He's a very ignitable player. And that's exactly what we saw. I think the man Kobe White had like 18 points in the fourth quarter, 3 after 3, and layup at the rim. And he started hooping. And he's the main reason the Bulls kind of came all the way back there in the fourth quarter, along with DeMar DeRozan, who was obviously great as always. I think he actually had his best game against the Heat this year with 27. And Pat Williams had his best career game ever versus the Heat. He finished with 25-7. They were able to keep Vucevic in check, which is very nice considering he killed us last game. Now, the Heat did go a little bit of zone today. They did what they do a lot with the switching that they always do. Sometimes that's where you get killed on the offensive rebounds if Vucevic has a mismatch. We saw the Bulls get some wide open threes in the fourth quarter because of that, that switching. Fortunately, they didn't convert. I just would like the Heat. I'd like to see the Heat clean up a lot of that. When you do switch as much as the Heat do on defense, the other team is going to get open some plays. But some of them were just way too open at way too critical points of the game. Fortunately, it didn't bite the Heat in the ass tonight, but that is something that I kind of want to see them clean up going forward. And of course, Bam Adebayo will help with that. He's the best defender in the league. Elsewhere on the Chicago Bulls side, I think that's pretty much it that's relevant today. But what a fun game. The Heat desperately needed it. I think they go back to like 4 games over 500. So you don't want to, you'd like to stay in the range above the play-in tournament. I think there were maybe like 7 going in today. I'm not sure where that leads them now. It's too early in the season to start looking at all that stuff. But fun night. I hope y'all watched and got to celebrate with me because it was a good time. So make sure to like and subscribe and do all that good stuff that helps the channel grow. I do want to shout out the Basement Sports Network, which y'all know I'm a part of. I do post-game shows all the time over there, as well as all other content like skits and songs and all that good stuff. But they have partnered with Playbook Sports to do a PS5 giveaway and an Xbox Series X giveaway. And all you have to do is find the tweet down in my description below from the Basement Sports Network, retweet the tweet, and subscribe to them on YouTube. If you love this channel, you may hate them, actually. A lot of people do. A lot of people say they're negative over there. Sometimes I am too, but there's really all kinds of different personalities over there. And at the end of the day, everyone is super knowledgeable, super funny, super entertaining, and most importantly, I have a great time over there. So I do think y'all will enjoy. So make sure to subscribe over there if you're not already. And by doing that and retweeting the tweet down below, you'll be entered to win a chance to win a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. So something really, really cool that they're doing over there. So I wanted to shout that out. But that's all I got to say for this video. Let me know down your thoughts below in the comments. I just posted, I should mention my Donovan Mitchell trade idea video last video. I got a lot of hate. Heat fans didn't like it, which I knew they wouldn't. But basically, I said the Heat could trade a package of Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Hero, and 3 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. I know that's a lot. I'm not saying I would do the trade. I'm just saying that's the least Miami would have to give up to compete with other offers. I just want Heat fans to be realistic and understand that. Of course, I'd love to trade Nikola Jovic, a first, and Kyle Lowry for Donovan Mitchell. I just don't think that's realistic. That's all I'm going to do there. But I'm going to end the video now and go celebrate a little more. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.